So on a previous video I said we want to mount this unit onto the tripod as well. So the idea is I do a lot of small PC board work, and one of the things are, for instance, to solder this up. This is actually still quite nice and big. Let's go to this one. I need to see there. So if I can bring it up to you, that has been broken down. Actually, the solder broke there. So my eyesight is not that good anymore, and I would like to record while I'm doing this. And one of the things I've done is actually bought myself this little microscope. I can record to the PC as well, so I should be able to show you what's happening. What I actually should do is just connect it up, and I'll link in a video to this as well. But the problem is it's designed, it comes with this little nice bracket. So it fits into this bracket. It's got a scrolling bar on the side. You can actually turn it up and down, which I would like to use as well. And it's got a footprint, so you can put it into the footprint. And yeah, the problem is this is too small. I've got bigger stuff that needs to fit in there, and it can fit, for instance, this PC board in there. You can see I'm sort of running out of space and out of screen space. There, sort of running space. So I would like to make something to take this further away in order to see a better look what's happening here, and in the same time actually record everything while I'm doing it. So what do I need? What I need is I need a bracket that will fit onto this shaft, onto the tripod itself. Then basically, look on the side view here, basically connect to there. That should give me the ability to go up and down, zoom in on this side, but also, I'm a little bit in front of you there now, but also move this up and down out of the way and get a better angle. I'm really not actually sure how far or where I need to go. So it needs to be able to adjust quite a bit. So a simple solution would be actually just to make a bracket that fits on here, tight, extends. Move you guys slightly up. Move you guys slightly up. That's better. So, actually looking at where you're sitting now, this is actually quite nice. Okay. This can work. So basically put a bracket in here that can sit here and then just clamp onto the stand itself. So this is quite a simple job. I can take this piece off. Right, so basically something like this. Something like this. With a clamp on this side. Okay. Shouldn't be too difficult. Let's see what we can do. So I want to reuse this, so I don't need to make this. Don't need to make this. Only thing I need to remake is basically this section that fits on underneath. It's actually a nice fit this. Maybe I should not remake this unit, but rather the footing of this. Maybe I need just to make the footing to fit this. Let's see. So again, starting any design for 3D printing, you need to think of how you're going to print this. And start off your datum. So getting back to this, I think what we need to start with is probably this unit. Let's put this aside. Start with this unit. So it's got 3 little points at the bottom, which I actually need to tie into. So this is a 45, 46 millimeter by 33 millimeter bracket. Bracket on the inside, so I will need to make some space. Actually, that should be enough space. So we can work on 46 by, you said, 33. So I'm first just going to do this. 46 by 33. And like always, just going to get that center. So we've got place to start off with. So okay, so we've got the 33 millimeters. I've got this 46. Okay. I'm not going to be too worried about getting these angles in. I'm just going to be a square. What is going to be important is getting these tabs done correctly. These tabs. So let's see where they are sitting. So they're sitting also that's a better. Let's just see if we can get this better. So you see those tabs? Okay, so I need to measure them. And inside this is 34, so it's actually 34 on this side. And each one of them is, let's do this other way around. Let's say sorry guys, I need to get used to this. So the inside here is 28. 28. So I'm gonna from here on decide so that should be 28 divided by 2. Okay, this is also this side is 28 divided by 2. Pull that across and pull another across. Then we see the outside we're measuring at 34. So we do it again here. 34 divided by 2. And we do 34 divided by 2. So on that line will be our, okay. Now, from the edge, from this edge inwards, we measure 8, that's 8 millimeters. So inwards, let's go in here, it's 8 millimeters. 8 millimeters that side, and the thickness of this thickness there of one leg is also 8 millimeters. No, that's 4 millimeters, which actually gives half there. So we should be able to pull a line through, and then that section there should be each leg. I'm going to double check that. So that is 5 on top, 3 millimeters on the inside, and looking at it this way, you guys are just other side around, or mirrored image. Okay, I still need to do these two. So this footprint I actually need to push through. We need to get this opening at 5 by 4. Let's quickly see if I see 5 millimeters by 4 millimeters. So we're sitting with that. Look at the solid line. So that should be a hole through the unit. But remember, this is where it should end. You should actually double that up. Let me show you quickly on the drawing. So this here is where the hole should end, and the little foot should be underneath. So on this side we should create the same as this, but this will be a 5 millimeter by 4 millimeter. I'll explain now for those who don't understand what I'm saying. So this little foot here is light is not that good. That's better. Is this little foot. The one we're working on is the ones showing outwards. So this little foot needs to go in first, then it will slide into position. Okay. I'm not going to measure from the outside here, simply because we actually need between these units where we are. Okay, measuring from the outside back in going to be wrong. We already made sure that this edge here is this edge here on the drawing. So we need to keep to that edge, and everything that we measure must relate to that edge. So taking that into account, that will be 28 millimeters. So let's do a construction line 28 millimeters, and I just want to put a line through there. Okay, so that will be the outer side. Okay, so the inside, now we can measure on back, will be again 4 millimeters. Four more. Pull that down. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Pull that down. Okay. And this time around, if you look on here, you'll see that these are not in line. Okay, so they're not in line. So the center line between these, we need to measure them. $20 millimeters, so it's 10-10. Is it 20? Okay, so now we know that is sitting from there. So that's the inside. So that's the inside. Measuring out again is 3 millimeters. Or we can say the outside is 26, so that's 13. 13. Oh, come on. Where is it now? Okay, we've got 13 there, and then we need to measure 13 to the bottom as well. And that should be our inner footprint. And whereas this pointed outwards, this side actually points inwards. Okay. And we need to have a clearance inwards on the outside. So we'll go from that, let's zoom in here, that corner, and we'll say that should be 5 if I'm not mistaken. That's 5 millimeters. 5 with a width of 4, which is the same as that. And there's a mistake. It's fine. Same with this one. That should measure inwards. 5 by 4. Let's just confirm this. So I'm gonna be able to push this into the slot. This side is referencing this side on the drawing. I've got the one ear is showing outwards, so this one ear is showing outwards, and the opposite one is mirroring that. This ear is showing inwards, that's inwards mirroring that. Let's just confirm between the two ears what we've got in measurement. That's about 26 and it's roughly 26. So let's just measure that on there as well, because that's something we did not do. It would be from there to there. 60, not 26. So we're close. We're actually in that ballpark. Okay. Now this is going to fit onto here. This is fine. And that notch is towards the small side, which means this needs to face out like this. So this is the front. So from the back end, so on the drawing, on our sketch from this side outwards, we need to take what extension. Whatever we're going to do there, we need to be brought that side. So this side is fine. We might even make it round or something. We'll see. Well, that's lost. So we need to build from that side on. And we need to add onto this. So the microscope can fit like this. Stand like this. Up here somewhere. We need to live here somewhere. My printer can only print 250 millimeter bed space. But I don't want to print that length. If I take a, let's see, 1 to 100, I mean that comes out all the way to the back. I don't want. I need here in close to the camera. Maybe coming out slightly. So we can do it in two ways. Either have something that actually, like this vernier, that we can slide in and out. Maybe we have two sections that you can slide in and out. Maybe a thumb screw or something. So on this side, let's say on this side is this bracket, like this. Let's put it like that, and it slides out where I need it. And on that side we'll have a clamp that goes around the pipe and it just clamps in. Also with a thumb screw that we can make. So how will we do this? I think that's a good question, which I don't have an answer yet. The other option is to have something that actually fits, that can swivel. So on this side, will fit and we can just swivel it in and out where we need to. It's actually a better idea. So we can have a cross section here that's got another point we can set, which might even be stronger. So let's have a look at that. This may be a better idea. So getting back to this to here, this whole section is also quite heavy. So we'll need to make quite a proper support bracket. Make a triangular support bracket. That might work. I'm thinking of this ruler, the size of this ruler. So what's our $25? So that will be 12.5, or say 25 divided by 2. And what I'm going to do is just do this. That will be 25 because now it's to the bottom, and that length we make 50. I think we make it 50. Just playing around with the sizes here. So 50, that might be pretty short. 100 is for me a better value. Let's make it 100. Okay. So this we will extract and then square it up. How we're going to fit on this side? We need to make two flat boards, bottom half and a top half. That need to be another component. So the component, I'm just going to call it component 1. Before we continue, let's just extrude this. So I'm guessing we want to do this separately. That one needs to be, actually that one needs to fit within this thickness. That thickness. So we'll need to get into that thickness. That is what we need to do here. Okay, there's two ways of doing that. I've got the base plate, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure the base plate. So that gives me 4 millimeters. I'm going to test on the hard surface again. Okay, so it's not 4 millimeters. On the hard surface I actually get another value, 3 millimeters. So that the thickness of this plastic on the inside is 3 millimeters. So that section, that is 3 millimeters. So on our drawing, we're going to do 3 millimeters extraction. That's a little, Control Z. There's a slight issue there, so what we're going to do is take that and just pull it through. Okay. Problem resolved. Now, back with sketches. Where's my sketches now? One thing of Fusion, always the sketches always disappear. I want to extract that 25 as well. So that means that sits at the back here. And I would like to angle this. So let's draft it. Not drafting, chamfer it. So by chamfering it, we actually, come on, two distances. Bring that down, bring that over. Twelve, 13, 12.5. So that's bringing it closer. And again, we've got a structural performance problem here, which we will fix once we get there. Dit gaan nie werk nie. Better. Okay. This gives just more strength on this point here. Make it more bulky. So let's just get to the bottom here. Turn it around. Put it over. So what are we going to do on this side? Same concept, but I need to make it slightly neater. Just want to do this. Okay, so let's call that side completed for now. I need to start on this side and work on this side. Let's do the sketch again. It will be on there. We will need to overlap, so let's first do a set 100 offset, and this was 25 by 25. No, not like that. Actually, I want to put a 25 divided by 2 offset again, so we got a new datum. And then my overlap, I would like to have that will be 25 because we need to fill in, and that we need to make strong enough. So let's take a 25 as well for now. Okay. I still don't have an idea how I'm going to do this. So make 25, make that 100 again. And actually for now we're going to do this solid. Okay. So we're going to build from here up a new triangle. What we're also going to build is at this very end, we need to have an inner diameter of, so the tripod, the center arm of the tripod is 23 millimeters. So let's do that 23 in the center. Actually, I'm going to keep that for now as, so that's a 23 millimeters. So that's going to fit around the tripod stand. That's the inside also. On the outside, I would like to give it, say, another 5 millimeter. 5 millimeter to work with. Okay, so giving it another 5 millimeters. I'm going to change that as well. That I'm going to cut out. We can cut that out. We can take that out, and we can also take those short pieces out. They don't mean anything. This we can take out. So we've got an arm going over, but we need to extend this arm. So what I'm going to do is just going to get half of this circle, and this I want to extend. So let's take this out. So in order for us to have this side going around the object, clamping it in, we've been working with 25 the whole time, so we keep to 20. Now final product will have some flexibility to it. So let's say we've got about 2 millimeters of flexibility. That means from here down we can add 2 millimeters aside. Let's give ourselves 2 millimeters aside flexibility. You'll see where I'm going to now with this. And we cut it through there, and we cut through there. That means this section will need to flex out open 2 millimeters in order for that bracket to fit. So I'm going to cut all of the, oh, no, not that. Okay. Basically, this is going to fold around the shaft of the tripod. And then we need to clamp it. And I like to put a decent piece of oh, that is so wrong. Actually meant no. Well, let's first do this. There's some on this side, so we need 20 millimeters. So on this side we need 20 millimeters to extend. Yes, but this is a further 20 millimeters to the edge. Yeah, that can work. So if I take that to there, to that corner, that gives us 5.6 over 20. And do the same here, from there to there, 20. For those who don't understand where I'm going to with this, you will understand right in a few minutes. So this section we shouldn't have bent. We will still need to do that section. Kind of clamp around the shaft. And we're going to put a screw through here. Some sort of screw. I would recommend, let's scratch here in my okay, so a nice little bolt or something to put through there. I think this bolt might work. So 42 millimeter. So from the shaft inside, that's a 40 millimeter shank. That can work. So let's keep that out. Yes, I would like to make a thumb knob on this side. We'll probably need to glue this on this side. This is a 7 millimeter. Yeah, 7 millimeters across. Something I haven't done before. Bolt itself is a M, looks like a M4. Yeah, this is M4. So we will do those on the side elevation. Okay. This section we still need to adjust, so let's see. Again, we're gonna get a nice view. Okay. So what are we gonna do there? Good question, because that we still also need some sort of bolt or something to manage that. Let's dive back into my little box. So, okay, so I've got a set of bolts here. This has got wing nuts. I put in one nut on the outside, and we'll see. You can see it better. A nut on the outside, and a wing nut on the outside. So it's M4 screws of bolts, and then with a M4 nut at the back. So what I've done in the meantime was I've done M4.2 hole to do some clearance, and then I've added, if you measure this nut, it gives me 7 millimeters across. So I think I actually went, let me see quickly, polygon, yeah, I actually need 3.5 is 7. I need a little bit more, so make it 3.6. It will become clearer later, but why you need to make it bigger. Take the old one out. Right. Now, I'm going to build this up to the top. that needs to be built up as well. And eventually this hex, is the hex? Yeah, hexagon needs to fall through. Octagon is 8, hex is 6, yeah. Needs to fall through to allow for this bolt to stick through from the bottom. Then on top we will have a flat section where we can have our bolts. Right, so I think construction wise we are there. What we can do in the meantime, let's close that off and let's extract both these parts to the bottom. We need to cut through that section, but I don't want to cut all the way through, so we need to make an offset. So we're going to do an offset plane, and the offset plane we're going to give, say, 5, we can give it a little bit more, so 10 millimeters. Okay, so if you look from the side, so that's nicely in the center. So that will allow this part to go through, and then turn those scissors on again. Now it becomes difficult to grab that. Let's see, let's trigger that, and we trigger that. It keeps jumping to. Let's clear the body out. Let's cancel. Trying to grab it, but it's not grabbing it. There it is. Okay. So we need to cut that through as well. And we lost it again. Come on. Cancel. Okay. Cut it and cut it in both directions. So I'm just going to pull it all the way through. So now we've got a hole at the bottom. So now there's this. And if you get drunk, you're not the only one. I'm getting drunk as well, yeah. Okay, let's go back there. Then I need to pull this top section up, and we set also 25, minus 25, minus 25 to the top. Those two also going to build up minus 25, and in this section we gonna, do we need to do it? Yes, I would like to see if we can do it. No, not like that. And we make it it looks nice. All the way down. I think the bottom one was about 5 more previous. Let's do the same. So we've got a nice fit on here. Got a nice fit here, strong fit. And through here we will do this. But we still have a problem here, because what we need is a flat section for that thumb screw. And for that, what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to hide this body. I'm going to select this section, or try to select only this section. So I'm not getting right at the moment. Let's take all the bodies out. See, it keeps grabbing the back section as well. Let's just we've got a small flat section there, so let's work on that section. Okay, I'm going to get a construction line through to there. That should be 87.5. Then from there it's going to be 25 out, or 10 out actually. 12.5. Okay, what I'm trying to do is to get outside here, so we can make a little bit of a flat section. And I'm just going to extend that to 12 as well. 5. Could actually make it a little bit further. Let's make it 13. And you'll see why I want to make it 13 in a few minutes. So I'll make that 13 as well. And then I'm going to so that should be 25 by 13. 13 is 26. Okay. So I've got a flat section I created. So finish. I'm going to take that flat section, including that section, and we're going to squash it down. And I would like to make it -10. And that should give us sufficient space so just want to double check here. So from edge to edge we're sitting with 22, so that gives me 11. So that's 11. So if I take it from that corner to the center, at least you take the full, we've done it halfway. So I've got 25 more clearance there. It should be more than sufficient. Okay, so if you take that, 25 more clearance, it's got more than sufficient space. I'm happy with that. What I'm not happy with is this section. This was not supposed to be there. That is correct underneath, but on top there should only be the hole. So that hole is the only hole that's supposed to be there. Right. Somehow we need to fix that. I'm going to try to put a hole in here. and that should be 4 millimeters or 4.2 to give it enough space, and it's gone. So what happened? Going to be on that section, yeah. I wanted to link to that. Let's make it 4.2. Okay, and then I want to drop through all the way through. Right. So if we now go and put both bodies on, you should see daylight on that side, and we should be able to see this side. So I'm going to save again. I think I'm making it nicer, but yeah, let's see. We can cut this nice round here. Let's try something. I don't think this will work. Oh, that looks ugly. Trying to see what I'm looking at here. I'm going to leave it like that. That doesn't look too bad. Let me just put all the sketches off so you can see the. So very interesting. So when we're going to start printing, I'm going to printing from this side up. So that looks good. And when we print this one, it's going to be opposite way. So from that side and up. So let's do the same thing here. Let's see if we can make this. That looks much better. This one I won't do that. Let's just check something. If I do this, we might, yeah, we're gonna destroy the section we actually need. So that's fine. I like roundings and stuff on my. Let's put it, cancel that. Let's just see if we can put 2 roundings on here. That looks a lot neater. See how far we can push this. Nope. Don't want it to go down. That's good enough. Thinking again, we're going to print it this way up. So that's fine. Now, I think the final section we're going to do. So this is the ugly thing. Is this section? So I actually want to go back onto this section, and I don't think, yeah, it will actually link to this, and we link to that. These two actually supposed to be construction lines, so let's make it construction lines. And what we're gonna do, 2 things. Again, we're gonna add a 4.2 millimeter hole all the way through. So, but I also would like to add a slight indent on the one side to grab the, basically to grab us our nut on this side to keep it stiff. So we're going to make sure that this is properly seated. Sorry, properly seated, and then this will grab it. So again, on this side I am thinking of adding polygon on this one, and we make it 3.8 millimeters outside. Will only be on one side as well, so let's finish this one and let's take that. We submit, take it in only one more. Take that in one more. That we go all the way through. Okay. What I'm also thinking of is doing this here as well. Make it slightly. So we're sitting with 12. We had, it was a 25, so 12.5 should be fine. Yeah. Got a clear, nice section there. Then printing from top to the bottom, it will be able to print this angle here. You might have an issue with that, but that's small enough. It should not have a problem. Would like to hear your comments by now. Visually it looks odd. So we're going to print this one from here top. This section looks very, very funny, but that's how it's going to be. We need to think of being strong in this section as well. And on the other side, just get this nice level again. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to export this. To double check one or two things. So that hole we've said was a why doesn't it look right? 4.2 millimeter hole, so that's fine. So my M4 can clear easy through there. That is a 23 millimeter diameter. So that should clear. These two lenses we've set, that we've checked in the beginning. That should be plenty strong enough. That is sliding it from front to the back, so let's just double check that again. So I've got here, so it's gonna have out edges in front, inner edges. Can't do this. You guys can't really see it, right? Where can we do that in the section? Okay. Actually that. There it is. So we've got the outer edges. There you can see it with on. Outer edge, the inner edge. That should fit in there. Well, the way to find out is to actually print it and see if it works. And this will be 2 millimeters by say 0.2. Let's do my 0.2. My printer is 0.4, so let's make it 0.5 millimeters, and we give it a height of 0.5. Able to make it moves over easily. We can have a 0.1 and 2. Okay, so we've got a little step there. I'll double check that's a 0.3 millimeter step. And that should help with grabbing onto that Well, let's grab on that section there to there. So that's fine. That way we made 0.5 high, and we set these two edge, we're going to have 0.2. I think that might be too much, but rather make sure it sits and doesn't come off. That is 0.5 more. That should be fine. Okay. I'm going to export this and feed it through a printer. It's probably going to take quite some time to print. So mesh, multiple components, bracket. So we